Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where as promised, the satellite delivery machine is here right next to our proper lander. Of course we need... Did I say satellite delivery machine? It's a parachute delivery machine. Of course we need to get these parachutes actually correctly set up. So I'll have Ludford EVA here, and we're just going to let go and fly on over to here for the time being. There we go. And now we're just going to hope that we can grab satellites from this position. Sadly, we cannot. I keep calling them satellites. They are parachutes. Okay, I don't actually want RCS on for this. I'm just going to get aligned about like this, holding attitude here, and we're going to head in a little closer. Cool. We don't really want to crash into this thing, right? And we don't have a way to dock to it. So we just need to head in here and make it be just a little bit closer. And kill that relative velocity. There we go. Now we're going to hop back over to Ludford. And hopefully we're now close enough. Yes, indeed. So we're going to grab this guy and put it here. We're going to grab this guy and put it, if I can turn it, here. There we go. We're going to grab this guy, and we're going to put it here. And then we're going to grab this guy, and we're going to put it over here. But there's actually not anywhere over there where we can reach. We're just going to put it here for now. Cool. Now we're going to grab these parachutes off of here. So one, I'm going to redistribute these a little later on. We haven't had any crackening, sending it spinning off, which is good. So that's half of those parachutes. Let's head on over here and grab the other half. So that's all of the non-drogue chutes. And then the drogue chutes. Beautiful. So that is now all of the parachutes removed. For the moment, that'll be fine. Next, we need to move this out into a higher orbit. So let's just go ahead and get some distance here. There's nothing else that we need from this vehicle here. We could make an argument for the cubic octagonal struts for this one here, but I don't think it really matters all that much, to be honest. I think it's fine. So we're just going to head on out, and we're going to hop into orbital mode, and we're going to push out to prograde. We're just going to look to maximize our orbit here. So we're going to add a maneuver, and that maneuver is going to be heading out to about here, 500 meters per second. Okay, looks good. That burn will be in about 2 minutes. We'll go ahead and warp to that. We can't warp while the Kerbal's on the ladder. Right. Okay, so let's hop back over here to Ludford. We're just going to let go. We're going to hop over here. We're going to grab. We're going to board. And we'll call that good. Beautiful. Off we go. Okay, so like I said, we're just going to put this in a maximal orbit here. This is now relegated to being a communications satellite. So we'll continue to warp on forward here. We don't need to be in target mode. I want to be in orbit mode here. Not that it really matters, but 3, 2, 1, and burn. Beautiful. And off we go. So this is going to be about a 30-second burn. And then we will warp on around over to here and get that done. Let's go ahead and physics warp a chunk of this burn. Should be completely and totally safe. Cool. That'll do. Excellent. So off we go. Is this unloaded yet? Yes, it is. Beautiful. So next, we're of course going to go up to our apoapsis here and just look to circularize. Just keeping it around lathe will be fine. Cool. So that'll do. We will align for that burn, and we'll go ahead and warp on over. And off we go. Not exactly goodbye to lathe, but here we are. And we'll commence this burn in a few seconds here. Let's just continue to warp on forward. 30 seconds. 20, 10, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. There we go. And in case you're wondering about the delta V on this thing, I did realize after I ended last episode that we were coming in retrograde to lathe, and that was a big part of the reason why we had to burn so much delta V to get captured. I fixed that off camera, and we came in prograde. It's fine. So we're going to finish up this burn here. Should be good enough. Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely fine. So we'll stay here in orbit, and then we're going to switch over to our multi-outpost ship. The complicated thing about this is going to be getting it to land over land, right? That's going to be the complicated thing here. But first, we need to get Luford to EVA again, because we need to get these distributed a little bit more evenly. So we're going to position that here. I'm going to grab this one, and we're going to position it here. We're going to take this one and position it here. There we go. Now we're going to take these and have them be evenly distributed between them. So something like this, and like this. Cool. Now, as I said, this is a little low. Do we have anything here that we could use to boost it up? I mean, it's not strictly speaking necessary, so I don't think we will for the moment. I think this is fine. So Luford can go ahead and board. Our next maneuver here needs to be making sure that we're going to be coming down over some form of landmass. There's not a lot of landmass on Lathe. I'm going to be honest. Because we definitely do want to land on land. There's some over here. If we were to warp over to here, how much does this turn? Really very little. Okay. So if we were to, around here, head down to be something kind of like this-ish. Maybe like this. That might do the trick. So let's align for that burn. That's going to be a 400 meter per second burn. So that's noted. We're going to need to split all of these parachutes off, of course. So this is a drogue chute. This is a drogue. This is a drogue. And that's a drogue. Okay. Now we're going to create another one here and just move these guys up here, like so. And this should be placed here. Cool. So something like that. So we're going to burn 400 meters per second on this inclination change. Then we're going to be able to kill most of our horizontal velocity up here. We'll see if we're able to get all of it. We should be able to, right? It'll be maybe slightly short. But it'll probably be enough. Probably. If we end up hitting water, it's not the end of the world. Well, I actually don't think that the liquid on Lathe is water. But if we end up hitting liquid, it's not the end of the world. And we can just deploy this as a floating science unit. We just won't be able to mine. We'll try to hit land. If it doesn't work, that's okay. Cool. So we're just going to warp forward a little bit until our inclination change is done. 30 seconds on that. 20, 10, 3, 2, 1, mark. Okay, so this is going to be a somewhat lengthy burn. We will physics warp it. Cool. This still looks reasonably accurate. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to be done with this inclination change quite soon here. About another 70 meters per second to go. Coming out of the physics warp right now. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0-ish. Yeah, we'll call that good. Excellent. So next up, of course, we need to start a burn around... I want it to be kind of early here. So around here. And that will just be a retrograde burn looking to go straight on down. Cool. Something like that. Now, obviously, we don't quite have enough for this whole burn. That's expected. We should have started this burn already. Okay, we'll have to do it next orbit then. Okay, let's just warp this around. And we'll bring it around to about here, and we'll see how much it orbits, or rather, it rotates under us as we go. It looks like it should be reasonably fine. Yes, indeed. Reasonably fine. Cool. So I'll bring this around, and we're going to warp to about here. Again, I want it to be slightly early. Because we're probably not going to be able to kill our entire velocity, but maybe not quite this early. So, like, here. Okay, let's go ahead and warp to that. We'll re-evaluate as it rotates. Yeah, we're going to need to re-evaluate. Actually, with this going into the Terminator, let's not target this landmass. Let's target this one. So it would end up being up over here. And we would need this to be somewhere around here, likely. But this just means that we're going to be much more likely to actually hit our target, right? So we're going to delay this a little bit later as this orbits underneath us, or rather rotates underneath us. But we'll bring this on around. And yeah, we're definitely going to have to make this be a little bit later. So we'll place it around here in the orbit. There we go. And let's bring this on over. Cool. So we're going to be burning this soon. We, of course, want to be on the maneuver node. And if we end up completely missing and hitting the water, like I said, that's okay. We're trying not to, but it's not the end of the world if it does happen. So I'm going to immediately retract 2 of these solar panels. There we go. We actually should have commenced the burn. There we go. And realistically, I'm going to have this be on retrograde, not on this maneuver node. I don't care about the vertical speed. I want to be at the horizon here. We want to kill our horizontal speed. So we're just going to position it down over this way. Cool. And this is no longer particularly relevant. So there we go. Now we're just trying to hold our position here. In fact, we can just sit on retrograde. That's fine for now. I'm going to stow away another Gigantor here. Cool. So we're just continuing to burn this on down. And we'll see how this ends up going. It's going to be real interesting. So our thrust to weight here is currently 0.42. This thrust to weight will be 0.51, so that'll be slightly higher. Not tremendously, but definitely slightly higher. Okay. This would be easier if we didn't have to hit such a precise target, but at this point, I'm going to turn off our engine. Cool. Because we're going to have some aero braking happening. And we're going to commence burns again later. We should probably retract the magnetometer boom. Oh, that's the solar panel. Never mind. For some reason, when I saw it at this angle, I was just like, oh, that's the magnetometer boom. But no, that's the solar panel. We should retract it, though. So we'll go ahead and do that. And now we can warp forward a little bit here. So let's bring that forward ever so slightly. Cool. Let's go ahead and stop this burn. And let's commence burning again. Because we know we want to hit this landmass, right? So we can bring this on in. And we know at this point that we're at least going to overshoot the landmass. We now know for a fact we're not going to undershoot the landmass. But I think we'll be okay. So we're just going to burn the remainder of our nuclear engine here. It's about 1.5 minutes of burn time. Okay. That's kind of a lot, but it's okay. I didn't expect it to necessarily be 1.5 minutes of burn time. Probably should have burned this a little bit longer. So now the question is, are we going to overshoot? And the answer to that's a definite maybe. A definite maybe. We've got 60 more seconds of burn time here. But man, our thrust to weight is just not great. We're not in the atmosphere just yet. So we're not getting any slowdown from that. We've got another 45 seconds of burn in our nuclear engine. I definitely overwarped. No doubt about that one. But this is getting closer. Okay, now we're in the atmosphere, and the atmosphere is thickening up. So we're going to start slowing down a lot. Cool. 20 seconds of burn time left on our nuclear engine. I'm just going to ditch it. And we're going to slow down maximally here, trying to maintain attitude. Cool. I think at this point we're going... we're still projected to hit the sea here. For the moment, anyway. We're still changing that. So impact biome is still shallows. But we're starting to slow down dramatically now. We're having a hard time holding attitude. That was expected. We're slowing down a lot. We're slowing down a whole lot. It's still projected to be shallows. Drogues are out. Okay. As soon as we can get mains out, we will. So yeah, I overwarped. There's no doubt about that. We'll see. It's going to be close. Mains are out. Now we're in shores. Beautiful. I'm going to cut our engine here. Looks good. I think we're solid. I'm actually going to continue burning a bit here. We've got 142 seconds of burn here, and any fuel we burn off means that's fuel that we don't have to land, which means our parachutes will have an easier time with that, right? So that's fine. But it looks like we're coming in on land, which is exactly what we wanted to see. We should probably remember to extend our landing legs. That tends to help. Keep an eye on our burn time here. It's absolutely fine. And in we come. It was close. We almost didn't land on land. That's for sure. And we'll see how energetic our landing is. Drogues are deploying now. Slowing us down fairly dramatically. And mains are deploying. We're still coming in very fast. Okay. About 13 meters per second. And this is maybe a little bumpy terrain. We cannot change our terrain location. So that is what it is. We're going to commence our landing burn here soon, just to slow us down that extra little bit further. So right about now, I'm going to commence that landing burn. And yeah, we're coming in a little fast, but we lost some landing legs there. But I think we're okay. It was a little fast. But we should be able to get this under control, I think. We're sliding, no doubt about that. We did lose a landing leg. We are going to retract our landing legs right now. And we need to try to get this thing to stand up. We knew we'd be coming in a little bit fast. Actually, this rotation is interesting, but I'm going to go ahead and EVA here, and we are going to detach. First, I'm going to detach this one. Okay, that's very exciting. No, don't reattach there. There we go. Cool. So, now we're going to look to bring this target angle to 90. There we go. Cool. So we'll try to hold that there as best we can. Then we're going to detach this one. That actually didn't need to be detached. It's this guy that needs to be detached. Come here. There we go. They definitely like to waggle around kind of wildly, but that's expected. So we're going to move this back to 90 degrees as well. Which we can do. We just need to limit that traverse rate, right? But there we go. Now those are in position. And with those in position, we can try to do the same with these to kind of push ourselves upright, is the idea. So we're now going to have Luford detach this one. There we go. And now, this is going to be interesting. I'm not sure what's going to happen here, but we can try to push this over. Okay. So there's no movement there as we're sitting on here. That's fine. So now we're going to grab this one over here, I think. This one, right? I believe so. We can't necessarily... Where is it? Oh, it's this one. Right. Okay. So we get that in there. And then this tumbles down. That's fine. Gravity here is a bit high, no doubt about that. And we came in a bit fast. But let's go ahead and set this target angle to being 90 degrees. There we go. Interesting that we're able to hold these upright, but we're not able to move this. Okay, so now let's have Luford hop in. We're trying to reaction wheel up a little bit here. It's not really working. I can't say I'm shocked about that. Okay, so one thing we might actually want to do is grab one of these arms, or even, hang on. I have a dumb idea. This might create a Kraken. I'm going to quick save here just in case. Oh, wait, we need to not be on the ladder. I'm going to quick save here just in case. And then Luford is going to EVA. And actually, Luford is going to completely get off of the vehicle. And then he's going to head over here. And we're going to grab one of these landing legs, if we can. That exceeds the weight that we can work with, 0.08 tons. Noted. I mean, I don't think that Luford himself is strong enough to push this up, right? No, there's no way. So the idea was to grab one of these legs, place it under here, and then extend it out. That's not going to happen, obviously. So we may have to consider this good enough. Unless we can figure out some way. I mean, this is theoretically workable. Ish. Workable-ish. Losing that landing leg definitely made a big difference. And that was because we came in too fast. I did think that we wouldn't come in that quickly if we were burning and had the 4 additional parachutes. But here we are. So we managed to land. And this is actually pushing over. The main problem at this point is that we're not able to lift this up, right? That's the main problem. I wonder if we were to get out our scientist. Would you be able to assist? Okay, go ahead and hop down here. Is this enough? I kind of doubt it. Actually, it is. So we would attach this guy, like, right here. Then we need to make sure that our Kerbals are clear. We're going to move them out a ways away. So this one will go over here. And then we're going to need Adnard is going to go over in the same direction. Just get clear. And then we're going to see what happens here. This is going to be very interesting. Very interesting indeed. If this angle was better, that could have almost worked. Okay, so we're going to bring Adnard over here. And we're going to do the same with Luford. Now, we're going to have to unextend this leg, right? But we can try to get this angle to be more accurate. So let's go ahead and unextend the leg. Cool. And now we're going to grab Luford here, and all we're going to look to do is rotate this leg. So we know that at this angle, it will extend to be down here. We want to take it this direction some amount of degrees, I think. Was that right? I think so. Okay, so let's try that. And let's see what that does. Kinda close. Kinda close. Okay, well. So, Luford, well, we should actually retract this quick. And I'm going to turn the SAS off on this thing. So, Luford, we need to just get the correct angle on this. So, we'll grab this guy, and we'll look to rotate this around a bit more. We're in the rotate tool. Yeah, I know it exceeds the weight. I want to grab this guy. I'm not trying to grab the service bay. I want to grab the leg. Apparently I can't. Okay, it was grabbed. It just wasn't showing up. Cool. So we'll get it rotated like this, but I also want it to be rotated more along the lines of that. I don't think that's what I want, to be honest. I'm going to reset this rotation. Hypothetically, what if we just did this, and then grabbed another one, and did the same thing over on this side? So that would be like right here-ish. Like that. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but it'll prop us up anyway. So we just extend these landing legs. Oh, they're upside down. Sure. We'll need to flip them. Luford, you can flip these on over. So we know that they need to go this way, right? And I should have realized that for sure. So this direction is the direction they go. There we go. And extend. So at least this way, we're not just resting completely on the ground, right? It's better than nothing. These are just kind of flailing about wildly. But I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. What we can do here is we can move this over to, instead of being 90 degrees, have it be more like 45. So this way we can at least perform some mining operations, right? This thing is just wiggling all over. So we would want to strut it together. So Luford, you can head on out over this direction. Go on. You can do it. You can get around it. You can do it. There we go. Now we're going to come in here and we're going to strut this together. So we're going to grab a strut that is here. And we're just going to connect it together like that. Now it's not wiggling. Beautiful. Next, we're going to come over here. I'm going to grab this strut, which should no longer be super necessary, and connect those together like that, so they're not wiggling either. Perfect. This thing is, at this point, surprisingly functional. So what we need to do is we need to rotate this guy to be about here or so. I wonder what this will do for pushing us up. Okay. Not bad. So we can go ahead and start that. We can extend this radiator. We can extend this solar panel. We can extend this solar panel. This solar panel, I think, is extendable. Obviously, this solar panel will have to be moved. And we can do that. So, Luford, can you move that solar panel? Do you have the mass capacity for it? You might not be in range right now. Yeah, that exceeds the weight. So we're going to have to bring Adnard over for sure. But that solar panel may end up being a loss. It's a possibility. And we may want to move this one as well. Let's go ahead and see here. Can we move these? Oh, we're not in the mode. It would help. Yeah, we can't move those Gigantors. So they are what they are. Okay, that's fine. Now, can this reach the ground? I highly doubt it. But that's fine. We can go ahead and extend this radiator, which will surprisingly work, and we can start our ISRU. Cool. This actually came off the ground. Well, that's fine. This thing is surprisingly fully functional. So now we need to get these guys inside, right? And how are we going to manage that one? Well, I think we're just going to come over here. The hatch is on this side, isn't it? It is. So we've got the hatch up here. How do we get back in? Pretty sure we can't fly here. Definitely we cannot fly here. Okay. So what can we do here to get back in? Normally we would get back in over here on this side. That's not an option. Well, for the time being, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a cut in here. We still have a little bit more work to do on this colony. We'll figure out some way to get these guys in. Realistically, we can probably do something with the legs to elevate this and get them in. But we'll figure that out in the next episode when we do our deployable science. This colony functioned entirely as planned. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Kentuin, James, Shadowwolf, MLohan80, Kentogan, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Spartan News, Unisil, Rogue Corvid, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.